So good morning, everyone. My name is Tim, and I'm going to be talking to you today about my project, which is based on biochar. So Canadian greenhouse gas emissions are steadily increasing. In 2018, 779 million tons of CO2 were given off, with agriculture accounting for 10% of those emissions, roughly 73 million tons of carbon dioxide. Nitrogen fertilizer production and its use account for a third of Canadian agricultural greenhouse gas emissions. And agriculture has heavily altered the nitrogen cycle, tripling global reactive nitrogen levels, with the National Farmers Union stating that hypernitrification of the biosphere is now a crisis. No matter how we proceed regarding greenhouse gas emissions, nitrogen fertilizer use must be slashed. The three main sources of agricultural emissions are soils, predominantly nitrogen production and volatilization, accounting for 30%, cattle and manure, accounting for 30%, and fuel combustion, accounting for 11%. So within Canada, and specifically in the Maritimes, Atlantic Canadian soils are prone to leaching, acidic, and generally low in soil organic carbon. Soil organic carbon is crucial to the physical, chemical, and biological functioning of the soil. And a couple of studies have been run over a long-term period of 18 years, showing that within the Prince Edward Island, one of the provinces in Atlantic Canada, 56% of the land base has suffered a decline of half a ton of carbon per hectare per year, with this shift being due to a change from forest to agriculture, perennial to annual crops, and increased tillage. Reduced soil organic carbon has led to declines in soil productivity, as well as increased impacts on the surrounding soil, air, and water. And you can see this picture on the right-hand side. This cutout is of Atlantic Canada, and the majority of it is bright red, which represents a loss of at least 1.2 tons of carbon per hectare over a 30-year period. So the direction of my research is to develop a solution to address greenhouse gas pollution whilst increasing crop yields by using current waste streams to provide long-term fertility. The use of biochar is a novel solution to these issues, and Atlantic Canadian soils are well suited for its use. I will be using two polluting waste streams, one of them being crab waste, which is the shells from crabs that are produced as a byproduct from the fishing industry, as well as cow urine, which is a byproduct of the dairy industry. Cow urine volatilizes readily, and a lot of its nitrates and volatile organic chemicals pollute the atmosphere whenever it's applied. So for this investigation, I'll be looking at the agronomic potential through three experiments: a leaching experiment to quantify its ability to prevent leaching and act as a slow-release fertilizer, a pot-based experiment to compare methods of application, seed coating or broadcast and incorporation, and also compare it to organic fertilizer, and a field trial to compare yield, grain quality, and incidence of disease, specifically with wheat. So what is biochar? It's created through pyrolysis of biomass. It has roughly 94% carbon content, and it forms a stable lattice structure, which stays sequestered in the soil for hundreds to thousands of years. It can be created from many organic waste streams, such as forestry, agriculture, or fishing. And some of the direct benefits include nutrient retention and a matrix for applying fertility, a liming effect, increases water retention, increases biological activity, improves yields, and has been shown to reduce leaching and soil-borne greenhouse gas emissions. So this is a picture of biochar through a scanning electron microscope, and you can see the lattice structure here. All of these pores can essentially be charged with nutrients, providing a very fertile amendment to the soil. So when these pores are enriched, biochar can be viewed as a nutrient carrier matrix. This greatly improves plant available nutrients and reduces leaching. It also has an organic coating, which has high moisture holding capacity, provides sites for chemical reactions, and excellent nutrient retention. These attributes position biochar to be highly beneficial when enriched with liquid fertilizers and amendments. It's also been shown to promote microbial activity. So 265 data sets show biochar increases microbial biomass in the soil, increases nutrient cycling, and the availability of nutrients to plants throughout the growing season. It enhances the effects of biostimulants, and it increases both bacterial and fungal microbes. However, it greatly increases mycorrhizal fungi. The electrical properties of carbon are also really exciting because they allow the biochar to act as an electron acceptor for microbial extracellular respiration, which further enhances the efficiency of the bacteria nutrient cycling within the soil. So I'm at the beginning of my research, but I've done a preliminary germination experiment with some biochar, and I just want to talk about those results quickly. So I initiated a germination experiment with wheat. I used wheat and combined it with nutrient-enriched biochar. I conducted an experiment for 1 week with either no biochar, 0.5 grams of biochar, or 2 grams of biochar. The results showed a physiological maturity difference between treatments. Seeds that were coated in biochar germinated more quickly and had shoots emerge more quickly. And the average shoot length increased from biochar application by 135%. This shows a picture of biochar. The picture at the bottom has the maximum amount. The leaves have all emerged from the coleoptile of the wheat in the 2 gram biochar, whereas in the no biochar, there has been only 1 or 2 have emerged. So in conclusion, current farm gate carbon cost to produce 1 kernel of wheat is 6 milligrams. It would take only a seed coating of 15% increase per seed weight of biochar to match the entire farm gate carbon cost. By using a seed coating, farmers do not need any specialized equipment. They can use the seeder that they currently have and will sequester all of the carbon required to produce that seed, neutralizing its carbon footprints. Biochar is an ancient technology that may benefit farming in the 21st century. Its pore structure can act as a buffer within the soil to moderate moisture levels, increase pH, and sequester nutrients while still allowing plant uptake. And Atlantic Canada has unique climatic challenges. They have freeze-thaw events during the winter and early spring, which rapidly leach nutrients. This generally leads to over-fertilization during the growing season because it's assumed that there is no nitrogen carryover at all. Biochar's ability to reduce leaching and its slow release characteristics will hopefully prevent the need for over-fertilization in the future. That's my presentation. Thank you all for being part of it.